Hello YouTube, what is up? This is ACNL Insight bringing you another episode of Let's Learn Animal Crossing New Leaf. Today I had a villager move out, so I want to move someone else in. So I'm going to go over in this episode how to cycle through villagers, how to back up files using Powersaves, how to adopt villagers, how to move their plot to a space that you don't mind, and then also a resource on adopting villagers. So a lot to get through in this episode, but hopefully we make through it. So here I have Bianca moving out just to show you guys, and then I will be power saving this file. So as long as my 3DS date, so like whatever date it says it is in my 3DS, and the date that I save the file matches, then I'll be able to pull up this exact date. So first I'll show you how to install Powersaves. Powersaves basically is like a little card reader that will read your 3DS card, and then you plug it into like a computer. So here I am downloading the software for it. So once you download and install this, it'll ask you to create like a Code Junkies account. So here I have one, but I'll hit this create button so you can pull up the website so you can see what it looks like. To the right is all the stuff you need to register a new account. I actually do have to log in to get my license key because I forgot it, and I don't know where it is, so it's nice because they keep all of that information. I'm just going to zoom in so you don't see my license key, and then when I log in here, I'm going to quickly paste my license key and fast forward so that you're not able to see it. But basically, you type in your license key here and hit login, and then once it's registered, then you can use the application. I'm going to back up the file that has Bianca moving out, and here I put the wrong date. I don't know why, but I put the date of her move out, but what you really want to remember is the date that your 3DS says it is, because then you'll be able to load the date that it is in the game without having to try to figure out like how many days ahead or behind that was, because the time will still go on as this save. Like if you load the save and it's like, you know, a month from now, then the game will, you know, still count that month as time passed. But if you move the time back to where the 3DS said whatever date it was that you saved it, then it will think that it's the same date. So with here I backed up the file. If I wanted to reload a file, I could hit restore or delete or rename if I wanted to do those things. So here we reload Cycleton so that we can learn how to cycle through villagers. This means that we're going to be basically kicking villagers out of the town in rapid succession. How you do this is you time travel 1 year and 7 days behind when you have someone in boxes. So Bianca's in boxes now, and I went 1 year and 7 days behind. And then we have to load the game and then save the game. So right now she loads the game in the way that the town would be loaded, and then you just save and quit, and then you set the time again, and then you go 1 year ahead, save, load and save, and then you go 7 days ahead. So altogether, that's three loading three times loading the game from when someone moved out. So it's 1 year and 7 days back, 1 year forward, 7 days forward. So here's the second time we moved ahead a year. And then this is the very last time we'll need to do this for another villager to move out. So it'll be the same date every time. If you do it this way, there are other methods, but this is the one that I think is simplest, and it works every time. So as long as someone is moving out, you'll be able to do this. Now, it's random, so you can't select it, so don't do this in a town where you're actually playing through and you like the villagers, unless you don't really care if certain villagers move out. So here, as evidence, fauna is in boxes, and basically I'm going to go through and keep doing this until Marina is moving out. I'm not going to show that in the video just because it'll be super boring doing the same thing over and over. So I did find Marina moving out on a day, and now I'm going to be adopting her. And how you do that is you visit the town that they are moving out of, and then once like they are in boxes, you can talk to them, and they'll basically either ask you, or they'll like you can suggest that they move to your town. As long as they haven't been adopted prior to, you can't adopt out villagers to multiple people. They will only move into one town. So here I show that I'm like visiting a local town, and then I'm just gonna fast forward a bit so that we can just go to Marina's house. So we'll run over there, and then after running over there and talking to her, she'll basically say something like, hey, like, I'm moving out, sorry I can't talk more, but I don't really know where I'm going yet. And then you can say something like, oh, why don't you move to my town? There's also a good luck option, or like a no thanks, I don't want you in my town option. So here I invite her into my town. So she says she will meet me in Praelia, basically. And then the way that the move-in, when you ask them to move in, they will set up the plot of land the next day. So in your game. So I'm going to change the date to a day forward, so the 19th. And then I'm not going to continue the game. If you continue the game, the villager will move in, but they'll move into any place that they can move in. So here is how to choose where a villager moves in, basically. You don't get to straight up, like, pick where they move in. You basically reload the game in a new character. I just skipped all of Rover's text here, but I loaded up a new character, and you basically have to run around your village or your town and figure out where they moved in. So you have to find the plot of land, and once they have that down, it will be permanent if you save the game. So the first one I show you here is when I found it the first time, and I kind of considered keeping it. So Marina has her plot of land right here, and honestly, like, I thought maybe I could keep it. It's not too bad, but it does leave like a little bit of emptiness where Phoebe's house, my previous villager, moved out. And I really liked the setup I had, so I thought I would reload the game a few times so I could get it to somewhere that I didn't mind as much. So I'm going to reject this offer, and you just hit home, or you could turn your DS off, but you can close the software and it won't negatively affect the game at all. It's like, Rossetti's not even going to tell you that you didn't save, because at this point in the game you cannot save. So this is about like the 4th time I loaded the game, so I was pretty lucky to get it in an area where it's really close to where Phoebe's house was. So now that that's all set and I'm okay with where the plot loaded up when I made a new character file, then I'm going to talk to Isabel so that after I get like my town pass card, I can save the game. So one thing to keep in mind is if you have 4 characters, you cannot do this because you need to create a new character, and you can only have 4 characters in a town at once. Also, again, if you load your game and continue from a different character you already have, the plot will appear and you won't be able to move it. So just if you don't care about any of this, that's fine. But if you care about where your villagers put their houses, then definitely use this trick to move their houses. There's also information like obviously villagers can't move where like ponds are or other buildings are. They cannot move rocks that are permanent. There's always that one rock that spawns that has a jewel inside. And also if you put public works projects in areas, they won't be able to move on top of those either. So if you want to keep certain areas like free of villager homes, then definitely go ahead and put some public works projects in areas where you want to keep it free from their houses. You can also put, you know, the other character houses there if you want specific areas with like character houses. So here I walk over to this area that I've already tried to pick the flowers and things up that I thought would probably get like destroyed by the plot. So I tell him that it's okay to put it here, and then he puts the plot down. After this, I talk to Isabel, and she'll be able to let me know that I can save the game. And then basically you could just destroy this character's house, and you don't have to keep this character. I definitely don't want to keep this character, so that's what I do. However, you will have like a little brown patch, and again, if you notice that tree is gone, like I could have chopped down the tree and gotten the perfect fruit off of it, but I didn't really care. So you definitely want to make sure that you're okay with whatever the plot is going to cover, or remove that stuff ahead of time. So here I talk to Isabel, and I'm able to get my town pass card and save the game. And then shortly after that, I'll be able to destroy my character. So what else is there to go over while this is happening? So the other things that are good to know about Powersaves, I guess, is that not only can you back up a file, you can also produce items into the game. So there's games that you won't be able to get anymore simply because they were a part of the, when the game released, the Spot Pass feature. So we're not able to get certain items, or there are regional items you would be able to get. And I can show you guys later how to do that, but this video is mostly about just getting this villager moved in and how to do different stuff like that. So here is how you would just demolish the home of the character you created if you don't want to keep the character, if you do the plot reset trick. But basically, after the house is destroyed, I'll show you that when I load my mare in, the plot is still there, and then they should be moving in boxes tomorrow on the 20th. One thing about moving in time travel is they mostly count like different time travels as moving forward. So if someone moved out of your town and you try to time travel backwards, you can't get them to move back. So even though the game registers as being like backwards, it's not necessarily. It always moves forward. I'll make another video about that, but right now we're going to show you how to go to the subreddit Adopt My Villager. Here's the rules for it. It's basically like a trade website for villagers. Some people either sell them, trade them for items, or give them out for free, and you can also have other people adopt them here. First and foremost, they say to make a flare. So if you click the little enter a flare, so this is a friend code, your mayor's name, and then a town name. So I started typing it in, but I already had it previously, so there's that. So you have to have this before your post, or any of your posts will get deleted. So be sure to, once you make your Reddit account and everything, do that on this website. Also, just as an aside, make sure to read these rules, but basically don't beg, don't be a jerk, and then make sure that you follow through on your trades. For spamming, don't post more than every 12 hours for the same thread. And also there's this player etiquette. Pay attention to this. That's just basic rules of what you need to do when you're visiting another person's town. But then I move on to just like the different tags you can use on these on this subreddit, and then what you cannot do. So there's a few different things that you can and cannot post here. So here's the things you can't, but we'll just go into a post that did go through. Here's Angus the Cranky Bull. So the original poster posted that they're moving out, and then they basically have like a trade. So they would add each other's friend codes and then basically be able to trade each other, basically like visit and get Angus to move out and go to that other person's town. Here, I'm not sure, when I go to post, it has the rules and guides kind of in the way. So I'll just like make it smaller, and the title, the text, and then just like the different information you can put here. So read the rules before you post anything, obviously, but it's a really good resource for when you want to either adopt dreamies or have villagers move out of your town that you want to either trade or just have go to a good home. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and that it was super informative for you guys. If you guys have questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions for videos, let me know. Thanks for watching, you guys, and have a great day. Thanks. Bye.